The doors to the Viridian tea house are open once more. Hello everyone, good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. I can't complain. Just a little bit of news. So I am no longer working at Crate and Barrel. It was a great time, but that chapter in my life is closed now. And I've returned to being self-employed regarding the tea, the books, and also my violin. But in short, I am living a full creative life again. And I will admit, I made mistakes the first time, and I've learned my lesson now, and I know what to do and what not to do. So yeah, I'm doing tea and books full time. And so far it's been very good, which leads me to my next announcement. For those of you who don't follow me on social media, I will be a vendor this weekend at Mile High Con in the Denver Tech Center area. I'm not sure, it's in the Denver Tech area. And I'm actually sharing a table with Curiosities Gallery. If you've never heard of them before, if you are going to the convention, please stop by the table. I will have tea, some books, and then also Curiosities Gallery will have their books. They have different anthologies, but it's basically for the retro punker. Steampunk, diesel punk, jazz age, dread punk, that kind of thing. So just look for Curious Galleries and Viridian Tea Company. We will be sharing a table this weekend, but yes, that is Mile High Con, which is apparently the largest sci-fi convention in Colorado. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to see some costumes and to meet other vendors and just have a good time. So hopefully I'll see you there. Right, so today is Women in Tea, which I didn't plan until about 5 minutes ago, and I went, oh yeah, look at that. Skills. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get to the book portion, shall we? So once again, before I start, a big shout out to the Conrad Press in the UK. I have loved every book that I have read so far, and I'm looking forward to reading more and more of the books. So this particular one is called Home Truths with Lady Grey by Katherine Blessan. You know, I'm just going to be honest. When I saw I was interested in reading this book before I really got into reviewing the books from the Conrad Press. And I remember seeing the cover and thinking, that kind of reminds me of like a Hallmark movie, which no slight against Hallmark movies. Sometimes I'll watch them, but it has just like a good feel cover to it, you know? That being said, I enjoyed the heck out of this book. It had a good character development. The story was touching. I almost wanted to cry at the end. I think I did tear up a little bit at the end. And it was a great message. So let me just read the back of it for you. Home Truths with Lady Grey is an evocative, moving story about the power of friendship to unlock new ways of seeing life and self. My world is narrowing, constricting down to the thin end of a funnel. When normally capable, career-minded Jennifer crumbles under a debilitating disease, she struggles with no longer being in control of her life. In the meantime, Mona, a family-oriented mother of Iranian heritage, finds out that her husband is gambling and hiding the truth from her. Can she move beyond betrayal to action? When Mona goes to work for Jennifer as a career, Jennifer is initially defensive, but the two soon discover that despite their differences, they have so much to learn from one another. Will Mona discover how to balance the conflicting loyalties of family and self? Will Jennifer learn to let others in? And more importantly, will they both survive? So Katherine Blessan is the author of Lydia's Song, The Story of a Child Lost and a Woman Found. She's also a screenwriter and social entrepreneur. Katherine loves to write stories that touch on social issues and explore the space where cultures cross. She lives in Sheffield with her Indian husband and 2 children and loves reading and traveling. Katherine, I hope you're watching this video, and I just want to say thank you so much for writing this book. It was very touching, and it had a really good life message, which is don't wait, because you never know what's going to happen. You know, I think sometimes people think that they're going to be immortal and that they're just going to live forever. That's not the case. And especially regarding Mona and Jennifer, like it was heart-wrenching to see Jennifer slowly discombobulate because of this disease. And Mona, in dealing with her husband, you know, finding out that he's been gambling and just wondering, you know, how am I going to deal with the next day? How am I going to deal with my life? What's next? I just don't know what to do. But bringing those two women together, it was very touching to read. And like I said, again, life is too short. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not wishing ill upon anyone, but I've learned that lesson so many times. And nice little reminders. It's like, you know, you're not going to live forever. Make the most of this life now, which, like I said, which is why I just decided to return to being a full-time creative person. And this book was just a nice little nudge in that direction. It's like, yeah, just keep living your life, keep enjoying life. Plus, I love the fact that both Mona and Jennifer love Lady Grey tea. And that's one of my favorite blends, actually. Thank you, Twinings. I was actually going to have some Lady Grey tea while doing this particular review, but circumstances. So, Katherine, I'm truly, truly sorry, but I do love Lady Grey tea. I really was going to have some today. But if you are looking for just a touching story about two humans from different paths of life coming together at what seems to be horrific, but then turns out to be a blessing at the end, you really need to read Home Truths with Lady Grey by Katherine Blessan, published through the Conrad Press. And for this book, it gets Viridian Tea House's 5 pots of Lady Grey tea. Thank you so much, Katherine. I truly did enjoy reading this book, and it was one of those books where I really didn't want to put it down. Like, I was like, do I really need to work today? Because I really want to find out what happens to Mona and Jennifer. So thank you again, Katherine, for a touching and insightful book. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed reading it. So the next book, actually, let me switch over here. The next book is kind of heavy. And there's a story behind it. It was, let's see, 2018. That was the first time I ever went to the World Tea Expo in Las Vegas. And for those of you who don't know, it is the largest tea event in North America. I think so. And they have vendors from all over the world, and not just tea companies, but also tea accessories and bloggers and writers and magazines, but all about the tea. And then the other part are tea classes. So the first time I did the World Tea Expo, I only did just the exhibit hall, which was actually overwhelming. I've never been around that much tea before in my life. And it was a very humbling experience because for those of you who don't know the story how I got into tea, I used to be a coffee drinker big time. And I'm still a coffee drinker now. But tea changed my life. It made me slow down and reflect and take in the world. Just take it in. Just one sip at a time. I'll never forget this as long as I live. There was a gentleman, and I've said this on other videos before, but it's really poignant today. I was working with a gentleman, and he was editing a short story of mine or something like that. And he said something to the effect of, well, you know, not everybody drinks tepid salad water. And it literally took me 5 minutes to figure out what was he talking about? What's tepid salad water? And then I thought, tea. And then I thought, what do you mean not everybody drinks tea? according to Jane Pettigrew, there's a world of it. You can see how big this book is. I would say about 90% of this planet, 90% of the countries have some form of tea. Tea is the second most consumed beverage right behind water. This book proves there's no such thing as tepid salad water. I had the pleasure of meeting Jane Pettigrew, and she actually signed my book, and that's why I was checking the date. But she says, oh, this book is heavy. You can see the inscription here. Oh my God. But it says, to Kimberly, welcome to the world of tea. There's so much to discover. All best wishes, Jane Pettigrew, June 13th, 2018. So what the heck is Jane Pettigrew's World of Tea all about? Well, I'm glad you asked. This, if you want to know more about tea, get this book. There are other books out there which are quite good. I have a number of them on my bookcase right behind me. This book covers the full gamut of the world of tea. She goes into the history. She even goes into all the myths about tea and how tea came about. Then she talks about the different kinds of tea. And for the record, it is one plant, Camellia sinensis. Now, there's different versions of it, like Camellia sinensis sinensis, Camellia sinensis assamica. There's another one, Camellia sinensis. I can't remember the other name of it. But it all depends on how it's processed. So you've got your pu'ers, you've got your oolong, which means black dragon. And I thought it was so cool, and I actually looked through some of my oolong. But the reason why it's oolong is called black dragon is because when you pick up one of the oolong leaves, it's all twisted and turned, and it looks like a snarling black dragon. But yellow tea, green tea, white tea, what have you. Then she goes into a fully comprehensive list, complete with pictures and information about all the different tea farms and tea companies all over the world. There were countries I didn't even know had tea farms. I did not even know until I read this book. I feel terrible that I've had this book since 2018. And I've thumbed through it a couple of times, and, you know, I've admired it on my shelf. But with me returning to educating myself more about tea, I said, you know, it's time. It's time for me to delve into this tome and really saturate myself. And I spent, what was it, like at least 3 or 4 days. Like the first night that I started reading it, I was furiously scribbling notes in bed. But this book, any question you've got about tea or the different countries that will grow tea, you need Jane Pettigrew's World of Tea. This is a phenomenal book for reference. And, you know, it might spark the wanderlust. You know, you might find yourself thinking, I really would like to travel to Taiwan, or I really would like to travel to, oh, let's see here. To India or Pakistan or Indonesia or Tasmania. You know, I will admit too, there's some great tea that's been recently coming out of New Zealand. Excellent stuff, really good. But yes, for Jane Pettigrew's World of Tea, this hefty tome, it gets Viridian Tea House's 5 pots of tea. So, and Mrs. Pettigrew, if you're watching this, it really was a pleasure meeting you. And I still have the picture of the two of us as I'm holding the book, and you're standing next to me. So thank you so much for this wealth of information. And you along with other books and other writers in the tea industry, you just continue to reignite that spark. So I'm so glad that I'm a part of this industry, and I'm so glad that you took the time to write this book and do the research. So thank you so much. Thank you. Truly appreciate it. So the final book involving tea is not quite heavy, and I actually read it yesterday. I got it from Arapahoe Libraries. Yay, Sheridan Library. And I read it, and then I let my boyfriend read it, and I just kept saying, this is the cutest book I've ever read about tea. And this is called Luli and the Language of Tea by Andrea Wang. This, I mean, yeah, it's a children's book, but as soon as I saw it, I said, I really want to check this out. Any book involving tea, I will gravitate toward. And this particular book, I'll just read the inside of it for you. The playroom was quiet. Luli couldn't speak English. Neither could the others. All around the room, children played alone, just like last time. But this time, Luli had a plan. She pulled out a fat-bellied teapot and matching cups and called cha in her native Chinese. And suddenly, all the children piped up, recognizing not just the word, but the pleasure of a cup of tea. And what I like is that there's actually illustrations of different cups of tea from different countries. Let's see. Where's the other part? Yeah. Oh, no, that's the same one. But you can see, get a better view of the different teacups. But this was a cute, cute story about not only tea and how tea affects many countries, but how it brings people together. And also about making friends. You know, if you can share a cup of tea with someone, I think you've made a friend from that. But I immediately started following Andrea Wang on Instagram, and I did a little post, and I was actually drinking Bigelow green tea with matcha and turmeric. That's one of my favorite go-tos. But just such a delightful, delightful book. So if any of you guys are parents and you're looking for just a nice, simple story to tell your children, or if you just love reading about tea and you'd like to collect this yourself, you cannot go wrong with Luli and the Language of Tea, which receives, of course, Viridian Tea House's 5 pots of really cute tea. It was cute. It's a very cute story. Andrea, thank you so much. And I laughed out loud when I found out that she lives in Colorado. Apparently a lot of authors and artists live in Colorado. I just thought that was cool. So, okay, we're done with the book portion. So let's get to the tea portion. Haha. So this particular tea, I purchased this 2 weekends ago. It's been some time. Actually, it was at the Earth Made at Aurora event involving plant lovers that I went to as a vendor. The vendor across from me, Batty Babkins, had all sorts of different plants and apothecary items, and then also tea. She had 2 different kinds. The one that I've got, which is spirit tea, and then the other, which was passion tea. So thank you very much, Batty, if you're watching this. Thank you so much. I am looking forward to trying this. I deliberately waited until I was going to record a video so that I could try it for the first time. So actually, let me just show you. So this is what the tea came in. Cute little, I feel all witchy, which really isn't that much of a stretch for me. And so this is spirit tea, if you can see there. It's got the little wax seal on top, and I won't open up the container, but when I popped it open to brew, there's a little tea bag inside. So, you know, well done on that. Good show, good show. So the ingredients, and forgive me if I get some of these wrong, I don't have my glasses on, but the ingredients for spirit tea are as follows: lemon balm, lemon verbena, borage flower, I'm not sure what that says, St. John's wort, chamomile, rose petals, passion flower, and stevia. So it's a lovely tisane. Well, one thing that I noticed was I love to sniff my tea. It's like a way for me to connect with what I'm about to enjoy. So when I opened it and I took a deep sniff, actually like 3 sniffs, I couldn't really smell anything. Barely an herbal tisane generalized scent, but nothing really stood out. So I was like, okay, cool. I let my boyfriend sniff it as well, and he didn't really smell anything either. So, but I'm hoping that the taste of it in my lovely Bohemian Indigo cup will prove otherwise. So here we go. And I was very wrong. I was very wrong. Wow. I feel like, you know, the funny thing is I don't really drink a lot of tisanes or tea with St. John's wort, because the last time I drank it, straight up no lie, I felt like the sun had entered my body and I just felt I felt radiant. But this, excellent. This is an excellent tisane. So what I'm getting, very much the lemon balm, which, you know, kind of has like a minty taste to it. The lemon verbena as well. Chamomile, maybe. It's just, it's rolling, but I'm immediately getting the lemon balm and the lemon verbena above everything else. The stevia, not so much. Rose petals, not so much. But you know, as I'm drinking this, you know what's coming to mind is this is a great tea to drink when you need a little pick-me-up. Not so much in terms of caffeine, but just emotionally, when you need just a little sunshine. This is what I feel like. It's like a sunshine in a cup. And I wonder if she called it spirit tea to kind of raise your spirits, to make you feel in a more spirited manner. But whatever it may be, this is a very, very lovely, delicate tisane. And you know, because of the stevia, you don't really want to put sugar in this, because then it'll just overpower and then you've ruined your tea. But this is a nice cup. See, it's really sunny outside today, but it's kind of chilly, so fall is very much here. But this makes me want to sit outside with a book and just enjoy the sun beaming down on me, and also from my cup. So well done with this tisane. This is delicious. This is quite lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, wow. Well, before I wrap this up with meditation and say, you know, au revoir or au bientôt, so I have a little raffle going on. I was like, you know, I think I'm going to do this. So what am I raffling off? I'm raffling off a lovely little regular mug here, which came from Crate & Barrel. You can kind of see it. It does have the Crate & Barrel logo on it. And a bag of my tea, my Hattie Mae and LC. This was a tea that was inspired by my grandparents. And the ingredients are Assam tea or a black tea, dried lemon peel, ginger, and dandelion. So I'm raffling off the mug and the tea. And here's what I want you to do. Send me an email to teagoddess, and that's TEA goddess 74@gmail.com, and tell me what's your favorite tea. It can be just tea, it can be a tisane, it can be blended tea. Tell me your favorite tea, and out of the responses, I will randomly choose one person and they will win this cup and the tea. So you've got from when I post this video, which is probably going to be tomorrow, through Monday. Monday is the cutoff day, and I will select a winner and I will mention the winner in the next video. So once again, Tell me your favorite tea. Send an email to teagoddess74 May the best person win. All right, so it is time to wrap things up with a lovely little tea meditation, tea and breathing meditation. But I do want to say thank you again to Andrea Wang, Jane Pettigrew, and Katherine Blessan. Thank you so much for your wonderful books about tea. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so, oh, and also to Batty Babkins for the spirit tea. And I will put everyone's link on the video so you can access and find out how you can order your copy of the particular books, or to get some of the tea as well. So in the meditation, you know the drill. Have your cup of tea or water. Find yourself in a comfortable position, either seated, lying down, standing up. And we're just going to focus on our breathing. We're going to take 2 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Close your eyes, or soft focus your eyes. Breathe for quite a time. Then I will end it with 1 deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then we finish with a lovely sip of our tea. So without further ado, let's get started. And now as we end this little meditation, take 1 deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Open your eyes or come into focus and enjoy a nice sip of tea. Quite lovely. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video and all the other videos. If you have any questions about anything that I have reviewed or talked about, please send an email to teagoddess74@gmail.com. Or if you follow me on social media, you can just send me a direct message. But once again, much thanks to Batty Babkins for the spirit tea, also Katherine Blessan, Jane Pettigrew, and Andrea Wang for their books. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this video. And don't forget the raffle. You've got until Monday to send me an email. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other, and raise your teacup high. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.